These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Oh, what a night, late December back in 63. What a very special time for me. As I...
Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Isn't a man coming the worst sound? It's the craziest thing. It's a horrible sound, isn't it?
I don't know about you guys. I sound angelic when I do it.
So one time you're a tenor?
Yeah. I hit that high note from Loving You. Is he?
God, dude.
That's terrifying.
Holy
I just go coo coo ka-choo. My right leg starts shaking.
You sneeze it out of your dick.
Then I get real ashamed and run out.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, that's as good as cold open as any. Welcome to America's Barley Basket.
Guys.
Holy moly. Oh, I'm your host, Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Folsebach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
And our good friend Josh Dullea is with us.
It's nice to be back. Thanks,
How are
guys,
you, buddy?
Great. Doing so good. Hey, what's better than being in the middle of Ray, Minnesota?
Ray,
The heart of Ray, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Really getting a sense for the people.
Unincorporated.
Yeah, unincorporated.
Yes.
Bound by love and honor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Nothing
having a
could be
great
better
time.
than
This
this.
has been a great time so far.
It's not a
Fantastic.
town, it's a territory.
Yeah, it's a state of mind.
We got jokes getting told this weekend.
Within mere hours.
Yes, we are in a
T-3 T- hours. I don't know how that works.
We're
3 minus T hours. What the fuck do you say when it's like?
T minus.
yeah.
I don't know what.
What is the T minus? Is that like some military? It's gotta be some
Testosterone.
military thing or something. Testosterone
Tortellini.
minus. This
It's pasta
could be the
time.
testosterone minus podcast for sure. This could be that.
If you
for
added
sure.
it all up, it adds up to a kind of unhealthy toddler.
Female toddler.
Need some of them Frank Hurt pills in here.
Oh yeah, the
Not
big,
Frank Hurt.
the
Frank
big hurt.
Thomas.
Frank Thomas,
There
the
we
big
go.
hurt.
Hold on a second. You mean Frank Thomas, baseball's the big hurt?
Baseball's
The big
the big hurt.
You just say it's okay to be a pussy if you're a man.
And she'll like it too.
She sure will. Frank Hurt.
Moly. Frank Hurt invented a man.
Doug Flutie, you look like you're back in your playing days. What gives?
Those commercials are so good.
What's the name of it? Nutramax. It's got the active ingredient Testofen.
Does he have? Does he support the one that sounds? So there's like this one product that I've always thought is hilarious, where it literally sounds exactly like eugenics.
Yeah.
Nugenics.
Nugenics.
Yeah.
It's like, how do they get? You can't have a
You
thing
can't, yeah.
sound that close to
No.
eugenics.
Right.
Crazy, especially if a black guy doing it.
the
Makes no sense.
I think the brand is
I'm
Nugenics.
sorry.
I think it's like
Coming in hot.
it's like Test to Bust by Nugenics. Like
Okay,
I hope
but
it's
eugenics,
acceptable.
nugenics is a horrible name for anything.
Yeah.
It's way too close to that word that is not okay.
It's like, well, come try our new product, rollercoaster. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys do? I don't know, but it sounds like the Holocaust.
Yeah, I got a new job over at rollercoaster.
Yeah, like it's like a roller skating. The roller coaster.
Holy
No,
God.
I was thinking you're at Six Flags and going on the Holocauster.
God
Buckle
damn.
in.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
I know this isn't my podcast. I shouldn't tank it. I'm sorry. These are things I would say if my own life was on the line.
You're right.
Not you fellas. I am sorry for dragging you down into the muck that I exist in. I apologize heartily.
You know, we've been trying for a real big common denominator with our podcast. Really trying to open it up to everyone.
Well, you might regret this.
I wanna
You
get
might
the-
regret this one, but
We've really been courting the Disney mom crowd lately.
oh, for real? You guys are trying to.
Really pushing that.
I mean, look. The Simpsons is on Disney,
Disney
Plus.
Plus,
I was gonna say.
yeah,
I mean,
good.
you guys are at least somewhat. You know.
Disney affiliated.
Yeah. Right. I was gonna say.
At a job I had, I once had to like SEO work for like figuring out like which blogs or websites might be ones that we could advertise on.
Sure.
So I had to review every Disney mom blog out there.
Ooh, boy.
It had to be health related. If these women join forces and take over the world, it would be the end of what we know as American life. They have this hollow-eyed look in them, and just they're all tan with big bright smiles, and they all love jogging and marathons, and all they give a fuck about is fucking aromatherapy and Mulan. It's just they're just it's a one-track mind. It's fucking madness. Why do we need 1,500 blogs about it? It just was fucking chilling to read at times. Like,
yeah, man.
You're in front of your computer, eyes wide.
Wait, what was the circumstance in which you had to read all these?
I worked for a health food place, and we were like looking for places to advertise for.
Oh, so you're like maybe these mom blogs would be a spot to throw a. I mean, honestly, as probably as.
It was basically to
not
check
a
out.
bad demographic.
Does
to
this
check
seem
out.
like something that they would give a shit about? Like, would anyone reading this be like? Most of it was like, but yeah, just madness in their eyes. Terrified children forced to wear a fucking Lilo and Stitch costume and fucking 6'4",
It's Lilo,
17-year-old
but
son. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's nutty, dude.
Keeping their kids on fucking T blockers so they could fit into the eyeball from Monsters Inc.
Remember back in the day before we used to, before we forced puberty on people? When we would sedate puberty just for gymnastics, those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
We know who we did it for? The good old US of A.
Absolutely. Because the Chinese were going to beat us if we didn't do it.
Yeah, those hips are too wide.
Gosh darn it.
Had to stunt them kids.
Yep.
You can find more of Josh Dullea on Going Hard.
Yeah, which is going to, we're coming back. The Going Hard podcast is coming back.
Oh,
Are you guys
really?
on sabbatical right now?
We were on a sabbatical, but we're coming back.
Right on.
We're coming back. We're doing it.
I'm
Look at
excited.
this.
I
Rides
missed it.
again.
I missed it. You try podcasting with other people and you're like, well, this isn't going to work out so good. But you find a couple lovely men. For me, Alan and producer Pete, a couple of nice fellas. I'm just going to use this podcast again the same way I did last time, where I'm going to say my podcast as much as possible because I think your numbers are better. Yeah. And you know what? We took a little break and we saw things differently. For instance, they were like, hey, Josh, quit saying crazy racist stuff. And I was like, guys, I'm not going to stop. But we're coming back, and we're going to come back strong, and we're going to be an alt-left podcast.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really switching
Finally.
up the brand.
Yeah, first guest, Ilhan Omar. So she's been texting me.
It's a good get.
Pretty good. I mean, she texts me all the time asking for $3 a day. So I assume that she'll do me a little favor.
Give her $50. She'll fucking do a 24-hour podcast with you.
Dude, the thing that communists can do with $50 is crazy. Anyway, this is all fodder for the other.
Did you ever
podcast.
have Tuna Can Dave on your podcast?
Tuna Can Dan? Nah,
Yeah,
Tuna Can Dan never came. I mean, I still have his number, and it's always in play. You know?
Yeah, there we go.
And it's
You know?
always a constant threat in the back of Alan's mind. That's the important thing. It doesn't matter if he's ever going to be there or not be there. I'll be like, hey, Alan, at any point, I will start a new podcast with Tuna Can Dan, and you'll have a lot of regrets about the way you treated me. You know,
It's always just hanging over Alan's
yeah,
head.
it's the same way you treat any relationship. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, just
you have to always make them worried that you will leave.
Just a
For-
terrible threat looming
yes.
at all times.
There's always an insurrectionist you'll leave for, and as long as she or he or they them know that, you have the control. I'm so sorry. Look, America's Barley Basket. You're not about this. This is not for you guys, but this is how I feel. This is just me spitting big facts, as the kids say. Anyway, so with those Simpsons, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, guys, I won't take over your podcast. On a fucking 10-minute monologue about myself. What a narcissist! What a bad guy I am.
I fell asleep for 45 seconds with my eyes open moments before we started this podcast.
We watched.
I think we need your energy.
That was
It was
so terrifying.
It was actually magnificent. Because Marla and I both were like, is he fucking awake?
He has the lyrics for December 1963 on his phone.
He's not. He's looking through those. Yeah, he is looking at his life. Dude. He's looking at a greatest hits mash cut of his life, and he's not impressed.
Oh, man.
A lot of filler on that greatest hits.
Oh, God. All filler, dude. Oops, all filler.
That could have been an LP.
Yeah, man.
6 tracks.
Yeah, it was crazy because we were both just looking at you, and you were just staring down. I was like, well, is he like watching a video? I'm like, look at your phone. I'm like, there's nothing really going on his phone. I was like, Nate, what the fuck, dude? And yeah, you were just in an old man trance, you know? It's crazy how you guys are you're both like literally like only like 10 years older than me. Like, it's really not that much. Like, you might not even be 10 years old, but you're like exactly 10 years older than me. And it's like, it's crazy how much you guys have settled down in that 10, you know what I mean? Like that 10 years seems like real significant. You know what I mean?
The 30s get you.
Yeah, I feel like a spry young man, you know, I'm ready to spread my seed.
I have spread them cheeks.
Well, who knows, man?
We're almost in international waters.
Yeah. Do you think the middle of that counts as international waters? If you go to the middle of Rainy Lake and you get fucked by a guy, you're not gay, dude. That's international waters, dog. That's international waters, dog.
Holy shit.
It gets uploaded to a Twitch screen. Trying to explain to your wife, maybe. It was on a houseboat.
I ain't gay. Also, isn't it much worse to say I ain't gay than I'm not gay for some reason? I feel like there's like this thing with I ain't gay. Feels like more like malicious.
How many clearly gay men have said that as a
I
wife?
ain't gay. Yeah, just in the back of a Flying J. Of course, dude.
Holy.
In fucking Lubbock.
Yeah.
So many men trying to convince themselves that it was just one time. But for me, in international laws, it would just be one time. I swear to God, baby.
Out in Rainy Lake.
I just needed to scratch an itch. It'd be a blonde-haired Filipino man.
Yeah, specifically.
How rare that's going to happen.
Bleach blonde Filipino.
It's so rare, baby.
I'll never do it again because the sounds he made when he finished were so terrible.
Yeah, exactly. The male orgasm is so horrendous.
Just the 45 seconds.
Just a
after.
guttural.
And just when your heart rates both slow down, you have to just like digest what just happened. Like, oh boy, boy.
It's crazy.
Jeez, you want to go buy some pull tabs? I don't know.
Yeah.
Get a bar pizza. It's 5:30 p.m. God damn, wish we would have waited until I want to go to bed right now. Oh,
they say the sun's highest right now.
I'm at my lowest. The bitter irony.
When the sun's at the highest, I'm at my lowest. That's a great country song. Yeah. And the say when the sun's at the highest, a cowboy's at his lowest. It's a fucking brilliant country
there you've
song.
got a song for when the podcast comes back.
Exactly. When the podcast comes back, the Going Hard podcast with Insurrectionist Tuna Can Dan.
God, you could.
It's the new name of the podcast.
Thanks for breaking that on this. On our show.
The Insurrection Cast.
For real, yeah. The Insurrection Cast.
What you should repackage yourself as a modern like radio country star. Do you have a middle name that'll work as a last name?
Yeah, Timothy.
Oh, Joshua Timothy?
Yeah, Judge Timothy could totally be a full.
Oh,
name.
man.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Dullea might be a little.
Dullae's horrible.
Too ethnic.
I mean, Chris Ledoux made it work.
Yeah,
Ledoux's
Wait, who the fuck is that?
French
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, he's a country
Is that
star.
French country singer?
From like the 70s, probably his heyday?
Oh, into the 90s.
Into the 90s.
Yeah, his 90s were his.
Yeah.
Were
Wait,
his.
what's his name? Ben Ledoux?
Chris Ledoux.
Chris Ledoux.
Garth Brooks name dropped him. Kind of almost like rap music back.
Yeah.
It was rap music 30 years prior, like where a big star could name drop someone that no one knew, and all of a sudden they got a
Garth
record
Brooks.
deal. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the biggest. he was at his biggest when he probably name dropped like.
Dude, Garth like has not even descended. He's been up there and it like just never stops.
He's at a rarefied air that like you can't compare him. Like he could come if he decides a tour. I'm gonna play Madison Square Garden 11 times in 11 days,
and he'll sell out
Yeah.
instantly.
It's so wild. He tours like almost no one. He comes to Fargo, plays 5 nights in a row because he doesn't want to jump every night. And it's like, because I'll sell 5 nights. Why not stay there? You know? Like,
it's fucking crazy.
Didn't he just put out his first new album in like 15 years and it's only on CD and only sold at Bass Pro Shop or some shit?
Yeah, there's something or Cabela's. Yeah, Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's.
Dude, what are you doing?
I love it. I love that level of fuck you. Like,
he doesn't care. He's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Not on Spotify, not on YouTube.
Crazy.
Maybe the last white whale not on Spotify.
Yeah.
There ain't many.
Emphasis on the white. That guy's racist, man. It's so interesting, like someone like as boring as Garth Brooks. Well, I don't know if you guys are Garth Brooks fans. I don't mean to even talk shit about it, but like how like boring and like baseline.
Yeah, you don't get that big being controversial.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so upsetting that someone like that, who's just like literally like clearly such a shill. Like, even if he has a good voice, he's clearly good at what he does.
Yeah.
But like, how upsetting is it just generally that someone like that's always the biggest guy?
Yeah, always is.
It's so annoying.
There's no peaks and valleys. It's just
he's like
just a level-headed dude.
He still can just sell everything out, and he just has no opinion. He's got no ideas. He just got friends in low places, and that's all he's got.
He's never like.
And by the way, he actually doesn't have friends in low places. That's actually also a lie. You think Garth Brooks has friends in low places?
He's a guy that decided to sing country music who really liked Billy Joel and Kiss.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Is that
like,
real?
Yeah. Like, I don't want to sing all about farming. And I want to I want to sing personal Billy Joel. Everyone can understand stuff. Plus, I want the arena rock aspect to Kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, real?
But
what a genius.
What do you think?
In that sense?
What do you think a Kenny Rogers show, arguably the biggest country singer in like 1982, compared to a Garth Brooks concert in 1992? Fucking insane.
Yeah.
A 1982 Kenny Rogers concert was him sitting on a stool singing "Lady," with just a 5-piece country band, you know. And now with Garth Brooks, it was fucking pyro and fucking everyone's dancing and fucking. Yeah, he's got a wireless mic and he's sweating his ass off because he's kind of chubby. that makes him endearing, you know.
And he's got Trisha Yearwood waiting for him back.
That's right.
Waiting back in the fucking tour bus.
I want to go on record. Sure.
This is where you drop one. This is where I've gone too far.
You leave Trisha Yearwood's genitals out of this.
I won't. There's no way that Garth's modest white penis is satisfying it. And that's all I'm saying, all right? Garth does not have a big penis. Garth can't have a big penis.
That's fair.
He's doing too much to have a big penis.
He can't also.
He's too megalomaniac.
He would be a gym teacher in Memphis if he had a big penis. He's not doing that. He literally is selling out the most giant venues on the fucking planet.
Yep.
The guy does not have a giant penis. If he did, it'd be fine. He wouldn't need it.
He wouldn't have those kind of goals. He'd be satisfied with his life.
Exactly.
But no, here he is.
Here he is.
I don't need to write any more songs. I got to look at this thing.
Yeah, we've written a single song. You don't need to. When you're actually satisfying on creative endeavors, mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's not a worry.
With the lack of things us three have accomplished, we must all have giant hammers.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
We can relate.
With all the times I scream into the mirror at night, I do it for the art. My penis must be tiny. Must be so bad. And it is. Not good.
Breaking that here too?
Oh, I have to. It is funny. Like you get to a certain point. I think women are always so nice. Like where they'll always be like, no, it's fine. Mm-hmm. And sometimes just break down like, hey. Mm-hmm. Lady, I understand.
Yeah.
I know what a big penis is.
Yeah.
And I know I don't got one. Yeah. All right. I've watched 1,000 hours of porn in the last 12 months. Yeah. I know what a big penis is. And I like that you're nice. Thank you for being so nice to me, but
it's so ridiculous.
Understand.
It'd be like telling me I'm skinny. I know. I see skinny people.
I have eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, I am an observant man who has full mental capabilities. Eyes can see these things.
Yep.
Listen, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, it is funny, especially like also. At this point, you don't think I've accepted it?
Yeah.
I'm a 32-year-old man. You don't need to tell me that. But you're not gonna fool me now. Like
I needed you when I was 17. I could get some confidence.
Instead of, did I tell you what my 17-year-old girlfriend did to me?
Oh boy.
Yeah, this might get deeply psychological.
I like it.
I hope it's funny and not.
We like both.
Okay. Anyway, dude, my 17. First of all. Troubled woman. They all are.
Good start.
I'm a troubled man. The only way to really, connect to link is to find a troubled woman. They're always troubled women. But I don't take advantage of them. I'm the same. Yeah. We were troubled together.
Uh-huh.
And we're trying to fix each other. Okay.
Oof,
that's
what
not
that
true.
is. That's
boy.
I don't think that's true. Anyway, the point is, this lady was like, if you ever watched porn with a girlfriend? Have either of you ever watched porn with a girl?
Oh, God, barely.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've done it with almost all my girlfriends.
Really?
Like, yeah, we watched some porn together. Like, trying to go a little. It's like a little freaky, I guess.
Jump starter.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. Like, we both watch porn separately. Why are we doing it apart?
Right. Sure.
What shouldn't we do it together?
Man.
We both like it.
The gals I'm with watch the stuff that's way too buck wild.
Wait, like what? Wait, what do you mean?
Just the insane fucking.
She's got
like four dicks in one ass.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing here? Do we know if this woman's of her right mind? She doesn't look professional. She looks like she just got done washing dishes at a Shoney's. Like she is not. She's not bathed.
She has shackle rash.
That's her screen name. Holy shit. If you type that into your Pornhub browser, holy shit.
Shackle Rash 01. She's like the original Shackle Rash.
This is poser dungeon porn. They don't even have Shackle Rash.
Anyway. The point is, I was watching porn with my very, you know how vulnerable you are as a young man in your first relationship where you, first tell a girl you love her and, the first girl that you, trust. God damn. And we watched porn together. And literally she just turns to me blankly. No irony. And it says, I wish your cock was that big. As a 17-year-old man, that's a lot to handle. She's maybe the fourth person I had sex with ever at that point.
Oh, man.
And the other three were this is one consistent, I'd hooked up with random ladies.
This is the first rate.
This was to hear that.
Holy shit.
And how bad I felt in that moment. I actually don't know if I've ever felt worse than that.
What are you supposed to say back to
It's
that?
I can't change
Me
it.
too.
Yeah, it would be cool if I could fucking jackhammer you like Owen Gray, but I'm not.
Is that one of your buddies?
Owen Gray? Oh, you don't know Owen Gray? Owen Gray is a very famous porn star.
Oh, okay.
Fella's got a hammer.
They often do.
And a lot of these guys who have hammers, they're kind of fugly,
Yeah.
He's actually a handsome guy with long flowing hair who also has a hammer. It's unfair. It's unfair. Yeah.
Do you need everything?
Yeah, Owen Gray's kind of got everything, and so ladies like him a lot because they want to, a lot of these guys are they're like Popeye, they're fucking they have giant cocks and they're slamming these beautiful ladies. But if you're a lady and you're looking at it, it's I don't think I would bring this guy home ever. But Owen Gray's the guy you'd be like, oh yeah, I would see him at the bar and be like, this guy's hot, and then he pulls out the fucking 13-inch hammer, so that's the real fantasy,
right?
Because for a girl, she doesn't want to fuck Popeye. That's not what she actually wants to do. And those are the guys that have these fucking giant dongs who are in porn. You know, so Owen Gray is like the bridge, you know, where it's like, oh, this is a handsome guy that I could imagine myself like, well, maybe I would cheat on my husband with the guy who's really handsome like Owen Gray. And then he pulls out the fucking python. And it's like, oh, well, this is like just an icing on a very fucked up cake for these ladies. I assume. Not that I jerk off exclusively to Owen Gray or anything, but I assume this is what the mentality
You're
is.
just jerking off to his Instagram.
Just him just stroking his long cock. That's all it is.
Him at like a boutique pizza place with his mom. Fun day with Mrs. Gray. Love
He's
you,
like, every
Mom.
time you're new, you gotta have Joe's with mom.
It ruins it for you now when he's naked. When he's clothed, it's an even playing
It's
field.
like, oh, and I have an imagination, okay?
When you're wearing clothes, you sometimes are the lady. Only time we'll meet open with your old lady. Tell her that. I paid $700 to get pictures from his high school yearbook.
Holy fuck.
He was small enough for me to overpower.
I am a slight man. Look, I'm surprised you guys didn't know who Owen Gray was.
No,
So you have no conception at all who the male actors are?
well, who's the one that like raised above the fray? But now he's been canceled.
Oh.
James Dean.
James Dean.
Deeen. Like he was like
Oh.
in real movies for
I thought you were talking about Mustache Guy. The most
Hedgehog.
obvious.
Yeah, he
Ron
also
Jeremy.
got
Ron
very
Jeremy.
canceled.
I think he's actually in prison.
Like in Death's Door though. He just like 2 weeks ago got home release because he's dying. They're
Oh.
like, get him out of here.
Oh, okay.
And I got
That's probably good.
the only other like male, God, I'm sure if I thought about it, I am the most basic bitch. Go to the homepage.
That's how I jerk off
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But I had a buddy that was in porn, so he's
But I
the
still
other
know these
name I
guys.
would know.
You had a buddy who was in porn?
Yeah. An internet buddy. Oof, that sounds depressing.
A guy he jerked
A
off.
stranger.
Guys,
So
it was,
you know a stranger.
Guys, it was cool. It was on a new metal message board.
Yeah, that seems on the up and
He
up.
loved Deftones.
Oh, boy.
By the way, who doesn't love Deftones?
Yeah,
Fucking A.
That's it,
If anything can unite us.
if you want
The
to defend new metal, there's really no way to do it except for just the Deftones.
Yeah.
The Deftones are great.
Yeah, they seem to transcend it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he worked in the industry, and the thing I found so fascinating when he taught, because he had like long enough ago, people had blogs, and he wrote this thing about he was 30, and they make you get checkups now because a bunch of people got fucking sick 20 years ago, so now they're every 8 weeks you got to get a physical, and the doctor was like, oh, looks like you're turning 30. He's like, yeah. I was like, well, have you been thinking about the future? Just gonna keep fucking for money. It's like, well, have any of
What
the
an
older
awesome thing to tell your fucking personal care.
Have any of the older guys? I mean, like he works for the industry, so he like is well. He know it's not just some guy at a urgent care. But
I assumed it was.
Yeah.
That's how you framed
Yeah,
this.
that's true. Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
But he was like, well,
A minute clinic.
you know, you're. They just bring a whole bus of them in. Honey, you wouldn't believe the horns on these guys.
It's like bringing a high school basketball team to a McDonald's.
I had to check him.
At 10 p.m. in Jamestown.
I had to check him for a hernia. I had to get him in the stirrups. Couldn't get my hand down there.
Holy fuck.
But the thing that I found interesting is once you turn 30 as a porn star, you have to make a choice because all of those guys inject whatever into their
Right,
dicks.
I heard that right. I said, but pills don't even work anymore.
Yeah. Because and then I thought about it. If you watch porn from like the late 90s, those guys had normal boners. Like sometimes they'd be kind of wilting in the middle of the movie. Not anymore, you know. But the doctor told them, hey man, yeah, if you're over the age of 30, it could happen tomorrow or it could happen 10 years from now. But one day that shot you take is going to be the one that makes you never become aroused again. You're just never gonna get a hard on again. So he's like, and I'm like, well, there's 45-year-old men in porn. He's like, yeah, man, and they are. It's the most like extreme sport athlete ever. Because every day they go to work could be the last day they ever get a job.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
They're going to have that Kobe Achilles
Yeah.
injury.
They look around and see who kicked him in the dick.
Holy fuck, dude. That's wild. What a
Right?
what a life.
Yeah. So he moved to behind the camera.
Yeah, that's a good move.
So he's fucking the camera now?
Yeah, I would.
I hope when you do that, you got to start as Fluffer. You're just jerking your buddies off.
Is that a lateral move?
$11.50 an hour.
Holy fuck. I mean, if I would have had a big enough hog, I'd get in that industry. I don't give a fuck.
Think so?
You
seem like you.
I have zero self-worth, zero self-respect.
Well, I think you just checked the one box on the application.
Yeah, dude. I wouldn't care, dude. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
I could too, but I can also see myself with this giant hog that I don't have. So there's all sorts there's all sorts of fantasies I'll fulfill, you know.
If nothing else, just to have genes that fit right for once.
Wouldn't it be good?
That'd be beautiful.
Wouldn't it be good? It's built for all these giant hog guys. Why got those fucking call this crotch room?
What's there so much
What's
space
this
in
for?
these crotches?
It's a zipper for like a fanny pack in there.
Yeah, exactly. Put a nutter butter down in there.
Summer sausage sandwich.
Where I keep my chunk cheese.
That is funny. That's funny. You know how like these podcasts, they all have these fucking these ads for like this like was like sheath underwear. It's like we got a chamber for the balls and for the dick. It's like they don't need to be separate.
It's all a nightmare.
One chamber would suffice.
Yeah. I've never blown the sidewalls out of the chamber. You know? I've never had to patch the chamber.
No, the holes are always right along the goddamn rim. You know, it's not ever. It's not ever where you.
It's never where you want it.
It's not a flattering hole. You know, like. It's upsetting, usually.
You want a bunch of patches on the side of the chamber is what you want.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You should maybe like a fucking teach me how to hem. That would be nice.
You're buying a retread underwear because you're blowing the sheet out. You're buying it at truck stops.
I need to darn my trousers.
I need to darn my sheath. The chamber is frayed.
They should come with a warranty for fellas like me. We should have a class action lawsuit against sheath. Fellas like me weren't built for sheath. They made a promise that they couldn't keep.
So, someone's planning out my estate sale, looking at my underwear like, these chambers have hardly been used.
There is one unused chamber at least.
These are primo chambers.
Yeah, we're going to cut the legs off to sell the chambers.
It is gone. Like all of the coloring out of the thread is gone. But there's just a blue, just a navy blue couple of sacks.
Yeah.
Where nothing ever got touched.
The legs are gray. The crotch is solid jet black.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Onyx.
Sleek onyx.
Was he wearing them
Pumice center.
Was he wearing them backwards?
Oh.
Holy fuck, man.
You know who's never had to inject boner medicine into their penis until one day it just suddenly doesn't work anymore, Nathan?
Who would that be?
That'd be the Simpsons.
Hey,
Look at that.
I was going to guess that.
We did it.
Yeah.
We can talk about Simpsons. Josh is in the bathroom. He'll hop back in. Episode 15 is Bartless. Bart and Milhouse are, I'm not sure why they're doing this. They're reading to the kids at some like library event. Yeah. Bart doesn't seem like he would be down for that, but okay, whatever.
I guess it was forced upon him.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Milhouse, like, I forget exactly the context because it's been a few days since I read this, or watched these. He like sees a mom and dad in bed in one of the books. And he goes, "Dads don't sleep in bed. Dads sleep on the weight bench in the garage."
So good.
So good.
We finally get some Van Houten action in this match.
Right. Milhouse has been all but invisible this season so far. Bart, is a stinker.
He is a little stinker. There's no way around that.
And is drawing in the books because he's trying to, he like makes some fun kid thing about where milk comes from and makes all the kids laugh and they're enjoying themselves. And then all the kids start drawing in the books and Bart's in trouble.
Yeah, as you would be.
Can't draw in the books, Nathan.
No, they don't like that.
Can't draw in them. So Bart in trouble because he, made all these kids. No, he didn't make them. He made it okay.
He influenced them.
Yeah, there you go. To draw in all the books. So Bart is in trouble. Homer and Marge really giving it to him.
Yeah.
Really giving it to Bart.
At their wits' end, one would say.
Just unloading. I love that they're like, one of them would be hollering at him so much until they get exhausted, and then they tag in the fresh one, get the hot tag.
Yeah.
And they go and they meet with Bart's teacher. Who is this woman?
Yep. We've seen her before, I believe.
Have we?
I think it's Bart. There's an episode where Bart had a crush on her.
Oh, yes, you are right.
A while ago. Well, I mean, within the last 5 seasons, I bet.
Yeah, which means
Ned
we've
was
seen
in there some. Yeah.
Right. Because we were just talking last week because Ned brings up that he used to be Bart's teacher and that Marge doesn't know what he's talking about. And then we were like, wait, who is Bart's teacher?
Yeah.
It's apparently this lady.
Yeah.
And so the Simpsons are getting ready for like, don't worry, we'll punish the shit out of him. And then no, all the kids love the books.
Yeah.
They like have a new system where they print off the books on printer paper, and then the kids can draw on them all they want, and the kids love books now.
And we get that joke about the Matthew Perry autobiography. That hits a little harder now that he's dead. I don't know if you're a big follow Entertainment Weekly too much,
I don't know if you're a news watcher.
Yeah, Matthew Perry has passed.
Yeah.
Since this episode came out.
Yep. So turns out Bart did a good thing, and we get that one quick little gag where, is that from the Purple Crayon? Is that the name of that book? Ralphie has the purple crayon and draws a staircase on the wall.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was
it.
from. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's, or maybe it's so-and-so and the Purple Crayon.
Okay.
I think that's a kid's book. I think that's what that's from. The Simpsons are shook. Like, wait a minute. Like, how come everyone likes Bart but us?
Yeah.
So they're not in a good place, and they're like, what if we resent him deep down because we didn't plan on having him?
We love him, but do we like him?
And so they're outside drinking wine during a rainstorm, like trying to get to the bottom of this mentally, like what they actually think of their son. And they wake up in their Springfield mansion. Is this based on anything in particular?
Yep, I got a note about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, is that A Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
Is that?
I mean, it's kind of like, well,
yeah, sorta, but not quite.
Yeah.
But they wake up and they're in a mansion. Everything is so idyllic without him. It's the same. They show the family photo. It's the same family photo, but without Bart in it.
Yeah.
So they're letting you know what they're doing here. Huge, like Hollywood Hills mansion.
Yeah. Yeah. In Springfield.
Under the Springfield sign.
Yeah. So we're led to believe that just because they waited 2 years to have kids, fucking Marge squeezed in 6 years of veterinarian school. Like, what's happening?
I think
here?
you can't look at this too closely.
No, don't take out your jeweler's lens for this one.
But life is perfect. Marge is a veterinarian. Homer is the sound guy and scoreboard guy at the Isotopes.
Yeah.
Which he loves. He loves his job. Homer drinks moderately. Like he's at Moe's and like, okay, I've had my one, and goes. And I think it's Lenny is like, just once, I'd love to see Homer Simpson drunk.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, really leaning into this.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite little details, Skinner is so happy.
Yeah.
Life is so good for Principal Skinner.
Dating Miss Springfield.
Yeah, dating Miss Springfield. I don't know that I buy this because his mom would still be around.
Yep. Yeah, good point.
And she seems like more of a misery source than Bart does. The Simpsons, I forget where they're driving or driving to or driving from. They hit Bart with their car.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect to see this. I figured it would just be like, this is a Simpsons without Bart.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, Bart still exists in this world, actually.
Alternate universe Bart.
Yep. So they take him home. They take him to the doctor and then take him home because it's either that or like send him to jail with Wiggum while we figure out who this kid is. They take him home. He, of course, is Bart. He's a fucking hellion. Homer ends up bringing him to work. No clue why. Or Marge couldn't take him for whatever reason. Or he couldn't stay at home for whatever. Oh, I think that's what it is. I can't leave you at home because you'll set everything on fucking fire. Turns out Bart is good at this. Yeah. And Homer finally gets the make some noise meter up to 100.
Yeah, 100 watt, who knows?
Yeah.
That's kind of the gag.
Yeah. Bart's pretty good at this, so he's endearing himself. Marge uses the phrase "eat my shorts" to whip her employees into shape. I love that her workplace is just sex and drama. It's just Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, with animals.
Yeah. And she is having no more of that. They're having a fucking paternity test reveal party at work. Holy moly. Oh, and like he shows Lisa Itchy and Scratchy, gets her out of her shell. She loves it, of course. I like that Lisa loves Itchy and Scratchy. Always has.
Yeah,
you know?
That's one thing they had in common.
Yeah, she's
like showing someone your asshole should be called showing them Itchy and Scratchy.
Look who's back.
Sorry,
hey, Josh is
sorry, guys. I couldn't help myself. You want to see Itchy and Scratchy?
Why is it your asshole?
Why is it both? Doesn't the itchiness imply the scratchiness?
You would think. All right, chiming out.
Oh boy. And Bart doodled in Maggie's book, and she loves it, of course. So he's super endearing now, and the Simpsons like him. Wiggum comes to take him away to the fucking orphanage, and Marge and Homer are devastated. They're not okay with that, and we don't want you to take him away. We like him, and that's when they wake up from their weird alternate reality and shower Bart with affection. And then we close out on that episode of Wiggum trying to get Ralphie out of the wall from that fucking purple crayon gag.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. This is a fun one. I like this kind of a weird one.
Yeah, like a lot of these lately, like in this season, it's a good premise, not a lot of laughs. Yeah, so that's what keeps it from really.
It's a sweet one. It's a sweet Simpsons episode.
Bart's not that bad.
Yeah,
that's a common thing we've seen in the Simpsons over the years.
Yeah,
Bart's not that terrible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've seen it before, but not in a long time, I think.
Let's take a look at episode 16, Hostile Kirk Place. Did I nail that?
You get it.
Hey, we did it. Episode kicks off with Weird fucking Al doing the couch gag.
How happy were you to see Weird Al?
Funny, we haven't got for 34 seasons of The Simpsons that it's been this little Weird Al.
Yeah.
Perhaps not the first time we've seen him animated, but one of them.
Can't be the first one. Yeah. But he's doing the couch gag, doing an accordion version of the Simpsons theme.
Yeah, that was nice.
I just can't get behind it.
Well, we're going to get the rage is going to build if we dwell on that for too long. I'm already right now digging my thumbnail into my thigh. Just let the rage has to go somewhere.
I'm just not a big fan.
He's America's Songbook. We'll be talking about him 100 years from now, but let's move on.
He's no Bob Dylan.
That's debatable. Let me hear Bob Dylan's parody work.
Would you like to hear that? Some might argue his entire career is parody work. How much he has sunk into the blood of the American people. Anywho, I'm out.
Holy shit. It'd be amazing if the late 80s he did like a pop parody album. And
he did a pop album in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys later. This is not here nor there. But
Bob Dylan cover Like a Surgeon would be so good.
He effectively did. I'll show it to you later. It's rough. It's not good.
I love these Josh Dullea drive-bys.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just going to pop in every now and then.
No,
popping out. Goodbye, everybody, again, for a few moments.
So, episode begins at Springfield Elementary, where the circuit breakers are every plug-in's being used. Groundskeeper Willie's losing his shit because too much shit's plugged in, and it all ends when Ralphie puts the metal end of a pencil into an electric pencil sharpener.
Which, God bless Ralphie.
Yeah, beautiful boy. And the whole school the electrical, everything goes haywire. It sets on fire a fucking 55-gallon drum of Iraq war surplus mayonnaise.
Beautiful.
With a picture of George Bush saying mission accomplished on it. Such a nice touch.
It's amazing.
Spoiler alert, this episode actually had laughs in it.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah. So the school reeks of eggs and vinegar, has to be closed for weeks until the smell dissipates. That night, Homer is watching late night television when Shaquille O'Neal comes on to advertise product. They talk about Shaquille O'Neal to a whole generation of people is just a pitch man.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in the NBA in, 11 seasons? Hasn't been good for 17 seasons? Yeah. Like,
far removed.
Yeah. It's like today's 15-year-old. Yeah.
God damn it, man. That was the time I needed to chime in for the basketball things. Marlon's like, I don't know, Josh, this is for you. But yes, once upon a time, Shaquille O'Neal was a very dominant basketball player. Now, he does like commercials for Athlete's Foot.
Good Gold Bond.
And the General
and discount car insurance.
And he owns Papa John's.
Yeah.
I'm out.
The ad comes on. Homer wants to buy the product. It's some kind of copper thing.
Yeah, like a copper knee sleeve or elbow sleeve or something like that.
But Marge convinces him not to because he's already bought far too many useless products from late night shopping advertisements in the past. Homer then just, like, because real childlike, Homer getting told no. He's all sad. Homer just falls asleep on the couch. The next morning, Bart and Lisa wake up Homer to tell him that they need to be homeschooled because the school's closed because of the Mayo incident. I do like when they find out the school's closed, like, Skinner's like, but guys, you don't understand. School's closed. He can't wrap his brain around why the kids would be happy.
Right,
He's such a square. God, that character has been so reliable for 35 seasons.
Yeah.
Such
Skinner is gold.
Such a pud. So the kids of Springfield do their lessons for the day. Until they get to history, everything's going normal. They get to history class and they learn about the collapse of the great Springfield gazebo. It was this big disaster, this big civic funded project that went tits up. The mayor at that time who commissioned the building of the gazebo was Eustace Van Houten.
Yes.
The gazebo collapsed due to the low quality bracing used on it. Eustace became a pariah. Kirk and Milhouse become disappointed with learning this is about their family. And Milhouse is he's big sad. Milhouse has been big sad for 34 seasons.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're talking about, we go, Dad, you never told me that my great-great-grandpa's the reason this thing happened, you know? And he's like, well, son, it was a different time. He's like, I just wish we could have something good in our family. He's like, I don't care anymore, Dad. It's time for Jim. And he just sits in an empty wading pool in his shorts and just flips a garden hose. And he's just sitting alone in an empty pool.
That's Jim Glass.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh my God, I love Milhouse and Skinner, two of the best, solid all the time.
And Mo. Mo is still the highest batting average for laughs per line.
During like prime Simpsons seasons, like seasons 1 through 8, Milhouse doesn't really, he's not fully formed. He's just in the background. Like, I don't think that's a good idea, Bart.
Yeah.
In the later, lesser seasons, that's when we get real buck wild of how pathetic.
Yeah.
Not to interject, but my girlfriend and I just started watching The Simpsons. I just got done with King of the Hill. I watched all of King of the Hill.
Nice.
And so we just like started Simpsons, like knowing that that's like not going to be like, we'll never really finish it, but we just started it from the front. And Mo, even in season 1, is amazing.
Yes.
Like Mo is literally immediately amazing.
Yeah,
like
it's so pathetic.
Dude, him just like describing the ways that he's going to murder Bart on those prank phone calls. Like immediately he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it never goes away.
They stuff amazing lines into Mo.
Yeah, they sure do. Out.
So at Moe's Tavern, perfect timing, Homer and Kirk both complain about their problems. Moe tells Homer to invent something to sell and make because he's wasted so much money online. Hey, why don't you come up with your own late night product? And tells Kirk, God damn it, stand up for yourself. If you don't like that the school's teaching this, do something about it.
He calls Kirk Van Houten Big Millhouse.
Holy shit, you're right.
Big
Holy,
Millhouse.
that's so demeaning.
and why Why would Mo have
a childless man?
Yeah, why would he use Milhouse as his barometer for who Kirk is?
Again,
So notorious.
And it's in that voice, just listen, Big Milhouse, son of a bitch. Oh, I also love that Mo loves Shaq. He's just like, hey, you leave that Shaquille O'Neal alone.
Yeah.
He's got 5 rings or whatever. He comes as Shaq.
Speaking of Shaq being a shill, remember the Radio Shack commercials?
oh wow,
Yeah, how about those? The most obvious.
Yeah.
Anyway, out.
So when the school reopens, Kirk crashes an assembly to demand they stop teaching about the Great Springfield Gazebo disaster. The school, the Springfield's big on holding meetings. They hold a meeting to discuss this and hear from all the sides. Kirk drums up a lot of support from people who don't want bad parts of history taught. So now we're really
loved seeing where this was going.
digging into the news pages of the modern times. Yeah.
Go, baby.
So Kirk drums up a lot of support. People don't want to hear the bad parts of history taught, while a counter group forms to try to keep the teaching of history in school. Eventually, the meeting is called to a close with no decision made. After this, Kirk becomes respected by all the people who support his views. I think the preacher's wife, is she one of them?
Yeah, Lovejoy's wife, and I forget who else is on that
there's
side.
there's a ragtag group of them. The Simpsons are driving home. Homer is struck by inspiration for the product he'll make to sell to people. That's becomes the shirt. That's the copper infused shirt.
Yeah, the copper weave shirt that he can put catchphrases on.
Called the me shirt, not the t-shirt, the me shirt. You can change what catchphrase you have on it. It's made of copper fibers that display different slogans. Near Christmas, the town celebrates Springfield's eggnog days. Kirk and his mob then crash the event to demand they ban the teaching of the Great Springfield disaster once more. Counter-protest is led by the Prince family because they're academics.
Yes, Martin Prince's folks.
Yeah. Mayor Quimby tells Superintendent Chalmers to just ban the topic as he thinks that Kirk's group will turn violent. Chalmers reluctantly agrees because right away Chalmers no, there's a line on the sand. Finally, I don't give a shit about this job.
Right.
Fuck these kids. So he's like, sure, whatever, fine, make my life easier.
I love that when they show up at that Christmas celebration, Hans Moleman, who was there.
Yeah.
Hans Moleman is so old that he was there.
Yeah.
They show him as a baby in the flashback to
the gazebo
to
collapse.
the gazebo disaster.
It's the reason he's an orphan.
And he's like, you weren't there. I was there. And Kirk freaks out, calls him a crisis actor.
So good.
Of course, it's so convenient. This guy just always has bad stuff happen to him, which is funny because that's what they use Hans Moleman for on this show.
So the mayor and the superintendent well, whatever, what's the worst that could happen? Fucking 3 weeks later, Kurt has become a dictator in Springfield. A lot of Soviet era art of Kirk pointing at all red and very bold, sharp angles.
The Simpsons has gotten so crazy.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
it's very good.
Like I said, I'm just starting from the beginning, and it's so funny to hear the plot lines of these episodes, not having watched them, granted, but being where is this at?
In the early days,
crazy.
You would never have an episode with this little Bart.
Yeah.
Bart was such a big part of the show right away.
Of course.
Now, fuck, Bart's
hardly in this one.
in this one.
That's crazy.
So now the city is in the icy grip of Kirk. So Kirk now runs Springfield. Meanwhile, Homer's Me Shirt business took off, and he's opened a store, Homer's House of Copperganda, because it sells copper garments. Yeah, and all of his dipshit followers, all of Kirk's followers, buy these. So he's like, "Hey, I support Kirk. Okay, don't know what to tell you."
And he sells them to the other side too. Earlier, he's selling weapons to both armies.
Marge tries to talk Kirk out of continuing his crusade against history and knowledge. However, Kirk decides to open up a new gazebo instead. Because Marge has kind of been chosen to be there's a name.
The guardrail
to keep him in line, which she is not able to do because he's a fucking dictator. So they decide they're going to build this new gazebo, which is insanely ostentatious. Everyone loves it because everyone's dipshits. They're all hanging out in the gazebo and celebrating. As the people of Springfield celebrate Kirk, he's fucking crowd surfing. And he's just finally, Kirk's having a win. And he decides to play electric guitar. And the electricity from the guitar interacts with the Me shirts that Homer's been selling and forms a giant fucking electrical field. They really go off on this one. The electrical field starts to destroy the gazebo and causes everyone to flee. The gazebo collapses. Homer tells the people that they can try to ignore history, but you can't ignore science. God damn it, science. It's like electricity is going to ruin a gazebo, apparently, is the science behind it.
Yeah.
This is a big vaccine parable.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, that's what they're leaning into, you can tell.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They managed to do a vaccine parable and a critical race theory parable all in the same Simpsons episode.
The most brilliant writing of all.
Yeah. It's a good fucking episode.
And there's been like a weird, kind of addressed yet, but like a weird framing device,
like a narrator.
Yeah, like a narrator with like
and storybook pictures.
Storybook pictures, like calling it like dumb diculous, talking in a weird way. Mm-hmm. And now we find out they cut. It's like the year 3000, and a space age teacher is teaching space age looking kids about all this, like the second great Springfield gazebo disaster. And when that happens, a group of parents burst into the classroom and fucking disintegrate him with a laser gun.
Yeah, because they don't like what you're teaching your kids.
Fools still be stupid.
Yeah,
very good episode.
Dummies will always be dummies.
Yeah, way more laughs than we usually get.
Yeah, that was easily my favorite of the two.
A little treat. We deserve treats now and then.
We do. We're nice boys.
We're good boys. Like a treat. A couple of treaty boys. More treats? More treats, please. Someone feed me a treat. My hands are tired.
Somebody feeding you mambas. Well, we'll do this again next week.
Hell yeah, we will. Episodes 17, 18?
17 and 18 for next week. We're going to tell the jokes again tonight.
Goddamn right we are.
Up in fucking near Canada. We went to Canada today.
Yeah, we just tipped our toes into Canada.
I didn't.
Joshy boy did.
I didn't go to Canada. I stayed south of the border where the real patriots roam.
Right, here we go.
You are a patriot. That's the one thing I've always told people.
I don't go up there amongst the socialized healthcare.
Every time they try to cancel you, I'm like, you're going to try to cancel a patriot? Not on my
own. Good luck.
Not on my own.
These colors don't run.
I will. It'll have to be my end of watch before I allow that to happen.
Good stuff, boys.
I'm glad we got you on here, Josh.
Well, thank you again. You guys are the best. The Going Hard Podcast, goinghardpodcast.com, Going Hard Podcast.
Keep an eye out for the grand return.
We're going to come back.
The Going Hard Podcast.
Harder than ever.
Harder.
Too hard sometimes.
Harder and maybe worse than ever. We'll find out.
Going harder.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
We'll see everybody else next week as well.
Bye, everyone.